You know what you're getting into. Wow. Okay. Are we ready?
Microphone good for you?
All right. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here live on Set Rock Podcast, Episode 1, Season 2. Okay. It's been a while. Sorry.
Okay.
Gotta shake the rust off, the cobwebs off. Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Set Rock back at it again, here with a super special guest and a very good friend of mine, Mercedes Zapata, a very, very established... No, wait. Start over.
You're like, wait, established.
Yeah, I don't... Sorry, guys. For season 2 jitters.
Big Bad Saint Rock.
Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Saint Rock back at it again. I got a thing in my throat. Sorry. I got like a...
E and J to the rescue.
Lemon bubble.
Everyone took a shot. We all did. For the team.
Is it there?
No, you're fine.
It's right in the middle. Okay. Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Saint Rock back at it again. Here at the beginning of season 2. And we got a very special guest, the one and only Mercedes Zapata, representing all day, every day, the one and only photographer extraordinaire. How are you today?
Doing great.
Thank you for making time for this podcast.
Of course.
Because I feel this is what total episodes we've done.
A lot.
A lot.
Total of a lot.
Yeah.
I'm glad to add to that.
So thank you. And in total of a lot, we have yet to have a prestigious photographer as yourself.
Thanks.
So I've been waiting for this episode to I really want to ask you some questions that I think I will learn and the audience will be able to learn from.
Okay.
So
all right.
If you don't mind giving us a little intro, give the audience, shout out to the guests out there tuning in on YouTube and tuning in all across the world. So we're global. I don't know if you know, but we are global.
Okay.
And we're
audience.
local. We're local and global. So yeah, if you don't mind giving us a little intro.
The Big Bad Saint Rock intro?
No, just an intro of who you are
okay.
and what you do a little bit. Nothing too crazy.
All right, I'm Mercedes Zapata. I'm from the Southwest Side, Chicago. I'm from Brighton Park. I am a photographer and artist. I focus mostly on portraiture, and that's really been my main focus for, I want to say, like about 4 or 5 years now, centering people of color and queerness and the idea of beauty in the way that I want it to be portrayed. And artists too. Yeah. Photograph hell artists.
And how long have you been photographing? Like, I feel like you're very confident in what you do, or at least you understand what your goal is with your art. But when did you get to that point? Like, when did you pick up a camera and just start shooting? And then when did you get to the point where like, all right, I understand what I want to accomplish with my work?
So I've been photographing since I can remember, really. My family is pretty large and we're full of artists. And there was always a camera somewhere because there's so many of us and we really value documenting family get-togethers. And because I was the youngest in my generation, it was kind of like a chore. They would just hand me the camera and be like, here, stay busy, take 100 photos, and then if you can count to 100 and give it back,
That's super dope.
Yeah, so it was just part of my daily life. And then I would annoy people in high school, constantly documenting. In college too, I would just like carry my camera around and take pictures because it was just a way of life for me. And documenting the people I love and the beauty around me has always been important. And then I stopped carrying a camera around, and I was just focusing on school. I was at Harold Washington, and I started taking pictures with my phone. And the Chicago Reader newspaper started doing a contest called like hashtag CTA writing, CTA spotting. And it was just like, hey, take a picture of your commute and give us a hashtag, tell us your story. And then if we like it, we'll print it. Yeah. And they liked me, and they kept printing me, and they printed me like 13 times in a year.
That is dope. Was that the first time you were published by a newspaper or publication?
Yeah, outside of school.
Because you were in college at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But I wasn't pursuing photography. I was
What'd you go to school for, if you don't mind me asking?
Originally public relations, and then I was just like general, just taking classes. But yeah, the Chicago Reader, the Chicago Red Eye was like,
okay. Are they still around?
I think so. To some capacity.
Cut that off.
No, right? I think they're not funded.
RIP to the Red Eye.
Okay, so the Chicago Red Eye printed me about 13 times. And then they offered me the Instagram account for a weekend. They were like, hey.
Whoa. What?
Yeah. Yeah. The photo editor was like, hey, you're talented. You know what you're doing. What story do you want to tell? And originally they were like, this is going to be something that you do like 3 or 4 months from now. So they emailed me like on a Wednesday. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do Pilsen, because I had lived in Pilsen already. And I was like, I'm going to photograph the artists that I run into every day, because I thought it was just like mind-blowing. Like, I lived in Brighton Park, and I knew there were artists everywhere, but like no one was showing their work. And then I moved to Pilsen, just like neighborhood down, and like I would go to the cafe and I would like see all these artists, and I was just in awe, right? And I was like, that's what I'm going to do. So I pitched it, and then they didn't ever approved it. They're just like, here's the Instagram handle. We need you to do it this weekend. So I just went out and photographed a bunch of artists that I knew. And then I would like just stand around and wait till I saw another one, document them, interview them.
That's pretty dope. Like,
yeah, it was amazing.
I mean, looking back now, we're like, oh, they're getting free work.
Absolutely.
But you know, as a college student, you're just like, okay.
And I wasn't thinking of pursuing photography. Like, I was painting at that time. I was like, I'm going to be a painter. I just wanted to be in the art world, but I didn't know how. Like, I was interning and I was meeting people. Sorry,
You're
Zach.
fine. You're fine.
I was meeting people. But yeah, that really changed everything, because I was like, oh, I'm really good at this. And like, this newspaper is getting free work from me. And that's when I started taking it seriously, because I loved documenting people, and I realized I was good at it, and I can take the ideas that I would ideally put in a painting. I could get that in moments in a photograph.
Well, I would say a lot of your photographs, when you have the ability to set them up how you want, they very much are like paintings.
Yeah, that took years though. Like, I could always pose people the way I wanted and get the lighting that I wanted, but I never had a space to create that kind of background and the textures that I wanted, until I started photographing it here. And I was like, oh, I can actually, if I had a space, even if it was just for like 2 to 3 hours, if I can set up like a bunch of fabric and have control of the different elements of the photo, I can make it even more like a painting.
Let me ask you this, and then we're gonna dive into that, because I think there's a lot to that, and I think that's what really makes your work profound. But let's backtrack. Maybe a few weeks ago, there was this contest held by the Chicago Reader, and you were nominated, a part of it. I was nominated, a part of it.
Yes.
We didn't win, because, whatever, it's a voting thing. But we did. I remember having a conversation with you about the fact that it was, the best of photographer. But it was like, there's so much different avenues you can go. Like, what does that mean of a photographer? And then there's so many different types of photographers. And, to be honest, that was really the first time that I really had to like understand that, and like, oh yeah, like you can't just lump everybody in as one. So do you have maybe like, is there a style or genre of your photography that you are, or that you want to explore more? Or do you want to maybe break down some of the different categories that you're not So people like,
Yeah.
because I feel like the general audience sometimes is like, oh,
You
you're a
take
photographer.
photos.
Yeah, can you, do,
Yeah.
can you do my event? Which I'm sure you've done. I know you've done,
Yeah.
but what do you prefer versus what you don't? And what is your goal with your photography?
So there are a lot of categories that fall under photography, just like visual arts and painting. There's just
Yeah, it's crazy.
innumerable.
Yeah.
There's photographers who are like very into like sports photography or like birds or anything really.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it was so weird for me to be clumped in with a bunch of photographers that do different things. I was like, in fact, that was the first year I saw people that weren't wedding photographers. I never thought that I would even be nominated because I didn't consider myself a wedding photographer. So I was like, well, I'll never be on that list. And I never really cared about it.
Yeah.
So I am a portraiture photographer, and like that's what I want to do. I want to go in the avenue of like more avant-garde fashion and getting like really weird and huge sets. I would love to have a big team of everyone knowing what they're doing, just extravagant. Like I want it to be really weird and cool.
Yeah, you like creating art with your photography.
Yeah. So
Is there any examples that we might have seen or stuff that we see that we just don't realize? Like, oh, that's costed $50,000 of a budget to create.
yeah, so I don't know how much it would have cost, but I'm sure it was a lot. Whenever I'm on set for Jamila Woods, like that is a production. And that is not just me. Like I posted a picture of her recently. She's like laying on this mattress that's surrounded by like nature and like a whole bunch of streamers and photographs and like different designs on the bed. Like that took a whole set design team from Bitchcraft Studios in Humboldt Park, and it was under the direction of VAM Studios. And there was a lot of research that went into it that I was not involved in at all. So that's like the kind of set that I love, like when there's that many hands on deck, and I have no idea how much production costs. But I would love to have that under my direction. Yeah. That'd be cool.
How do you get there? Or how does that come into your hands?
I just keep speaking it into existence.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I've done events, like I've photographed.
You feel like some of it is you have to prove to people I can do this, but this is also what I want to do. I don't want to do other things.
Yeah.
Because like you said, wedding photography, like do you have to say like I don't do weddings?
I think
so
yes.
Because I still get like literally I still get DMs that are like, hey, can you design my logo?
Right.
I'm like, come on.
You're like, where does it say?
Yeah, and I don't want to like belittle people, but it's like you can see I'm focusing on this.
Yeah. So I have been doing it slowly throughout the years. Like there was definitely a stage in time where I was like, okay, if I'm going to be freelancing, then I'm going to take in any gig I can. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'll do your events. Yes, I'll do your weddings. I'll do anything. But I really dislike it. Like I love portraiture, and I'll take pictures of like micro weddings or like city hall weddings. Things for like friends that I already know. I'm like, all right, yeah, of course. I think I would be kind of jealous if you went to another photographer. Like, of course, I want to do this for you. But for the most part, no, I'm not. I think I had to like slowly stop showing that, like take it off my website. Even though I'm very proud of all my wedding photography, like I removed it from my website because I don't want anyone who is thinking of hiring me to go to my website and see like, oh, she does weddings. Let me hire her for that. I've had to be more explicit about like my pricing. I feel like a lot of photographers were like very secretive about our pricing and our packages or whatever services we offer. Right. And before it was like purely people DMing me or emailing me saying like, hey, can you photograph this random thing? How much would it be? So I like sat down this year and was like, all right, here's exactly what I offer. Mm-hmm. This is how much it's going to be. If you have any other ideas, you can email me, but like, this is what I already do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's not even like exactly where I want to go. This is just what I'm offering right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I really love photographing authors and artists. And I think that's where I find the most joy.
I would say your photos with Jamila. Have you seen the covers that she's done with Jamila Woods or the work? I feel like you guys are like the perfect, anytime you guys work together, I'm like, oh man, this is like
Yeah.
you know, when your favorite producer and your favorite rapper get together, it's like, oh, this just works perfect.
Thanks. The one that we did in the backyard, where it's just like fabrics around her, not the whole set from the music video. Like that was us. That was me and her collaborating our thoughts and ideas, like listening to her music, her song over and over and thinking of like, how does this make us feel? What kind of colors do we feel? Like what kind of mood, everything. I love working with Jamila so much, and I hope to always work with Jamila. She's fantastic. But yeah, like that's where I find the most creative joy and freedom, is working with artists and authors and musicians. And I hope that my career goes in that direction.
Let's go back to pricing a little bit.
Okay.
Because I feel like because everybody, not everybody, but okay, anybody can pick up a camera, and a lot of people think like, oh, I got a camera, why am I going to pay you X amount of dollars versus I could just take a picture and then I'll edit it on whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you deal with that a lot, of people coming to you and they're like, how much you charge? And you're telling them and they're like, oh, well, I got $100, you know. And
Yeah.
how do you deal with that? I think that's because I have a lot of photographer friends, and I know that's the hardest thing for them is pricing.
I'm figuring it out, honestly. I think sometimes I'll say yeah to the $100 because I'm like, that sounds worth it.
Yeah, every artist, you know, you're not like, this is my only price and I won't budge. So,
Right.
you know, everyone's a little like
So do you mean more so
flexible.
like, how do I establish pricing?
I guess just like, how do you communicate? How do you, I don't know. How do you establish pricing or like,
How'd you get to that place of figuring out the
and being
price?
confident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that really I'm still trying to find that confidence in, and I think I hit it a little harder this year because I had to be really realistic about my living expenses and like, the cost of living, the cost of my rent for my studio, the cost of rent for my apartment. And I know that with the pandemic, I wasn't able to photograph as often as I was. Pre-pandemic, like you saw, I was like constantly in and out of buildings. Like, all right, I gotta go. I'm gonna go shoot this. I'm gonna go do that. I was doing like 2 to 3 shoots a week, and I can't do that in a pandemic. So I had to think of like, okay, if I have to photograph and I have to make ends meet, then I can only do 3 to 4 photo shoots a month. And if I only do 3 to 4 photo shoots a month, like how much does that realistically have to cost so that I'm not like putting myself at risk, putting the people I photograph at risk, but also like putting my body through like extremes of like, I like throw myself around when I'm photographing, and I'm like, I can't do that to myself. So I had to do that. Think about all the expenses that go into like wanting to upgrade my camera and get new lighting, new studio equipment. As I'm growing in my profession, like those are expenses that are realistic. And before I was like, well, I don't really need those things. Like I don't need a studio. And now I'm like, no, I need it. Like if I want to be at the top of my game, those are things I have to offer my clients. And if I can get enough people to pay me the price that I need and deserve for what I'm offering them, the level of production that I'm offering them, then I can add some time in for sliding scale projects.
You're creating something, you're creating demand. Like, damn, like I need that. You know what I mean? Versus like, oh, you can just get the job done versus, you know what I mean? You don't want that. You want people to demand. Like, I really want that vibe.
Yeah, there's
When
a
I
lot
see
of
your
intention.
photos, it's like, oh my God, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
I want to look like Jamila Woods right there in flowers. Come on.
Yes.
How much would that cost right now? Let's do it.
Well, that's what I had to really think about. I was like, how much would that cost? Because like I know a lot of the florists in Chicago, and I'm really lucky to know them. And I want to be able to make sure that I'm not asking them for a discount. Like I'm like, I understand how hard it is. I've seen them put the bouquets together before, you know, and I'm like, I want to pay you full price. So like, how much do I have to charge my client for that? So, or makeup artists, everyone on set, right? Like the person who's doing lighting and anyone, if I'm involving anyone's help, I have to think about like, is that an additional charge that they're going to be paying that person, or am I paying them? So the bigger the production, the bigger the budget that I have to have. If I can get someone's photograph, like if I'm doing a headshot and it only requires me and a backdrop, and you're coming down to my talent and what I can do, then I can charge you like a smaller amount. I'm like, all right, cool. Like you're going to get the top quality, and I'm going to give it to you at an affordable rate that is just for me and it's like fair for you. because I'm not gonna throw all my fabrics out and like create a whole scene for you then.
Time is money.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing similar with me when I create, you know, I have my studio now and I built out the front space and I have people I work with. I think it's about you creating a platform. You're giving somebody everything that you work towards,
Yeah.
not just this one painting or this one design. It's like everything that comes with it, you know.
Yeah, and it's also like, yeah, anyone can pick up a camera and they should. Anyone can pick up a paintbrush and they should. Like,
Right.
you can explore all of these different mediums and maybe not excel at them. Like, or maybe all these people are excelling at different kinds of painting or all these different kinds of photography. But like, I know what I'm going to get if I get something from you. Just the same as like, you know what you're going to get when you get something from me, because we've established ourselves and the direction that we're going in our careers and our aesthetics. Like, these are all things that you're paying for additionally too. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. What was your top 3 photo shoots? Like maybe like subjects or people, or if you give us like your top 3 and then why.
My top 3 photo shoots and why. All right. So Jamila's Sula photo shoot that we came up with together. We were in a backyard. We put out some fabric on a laundry line and had some flowers. And I loved it because of the teamwork between like the stylist, the hair and makeup, and me and her. And it was just so simple and just gorgeous. Like, the sun hit her perfectly. She was glowing. All the iridescent fabric worked just perfectly. And you really get to see Jamila in the way that I see her, where it's just like a lot of strength, but just a soft vulnerability that's just really beautiful. Like, she's really complex. And I think that like, I love her so much. So I'm just like, here's just like a snippet of how I see her.
Yeah,
and so
you
I
really
think
wanted to present it the best. You know.
So I'm proud of that portrayal. Another photo shoot that I loved was Kaina had a show for her album release, and for every single song on the album, for Closer to the Sun. Yeah. Next to the Sun.
I know what
her
you're
album
talking
Next to the
about.
Sun.
Yeah.
For every song on there, she gave it to a different artist. So I got the song Home, and it has like the least amount of lyrics, and I like listened to it 100 times. I was like, all right, like what comes to mind? And I put together a photo shoot in the park, like McGuane Park in Bridgeport, the one on the hill. And I set up a picnic scene. I put a public call on my Instagram. I was like, hey, like, people of color, whoever wants to be a model in the shoot, hit me up. And I like asked everyone to wear like a white blouse or a white top and some jeans, like just something really simple. And I laid out a whole picnic feast of different fruits. And I laid out a bunch of tulle in the air. And like, I had like 7 people holding tulle for me. And I'm just like, here, hold this. And I was working against the sun. Like, the sun was setting, and that's exactly what I wanted to photograph.
You get what, a good 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it was perfect. Like, every shot makes me really emotional, and that was the last time I photographed a bunch of people at once, and I want to do that again when it's safe.
Is that pre-pandemic?
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
I remember seeing that on Instagram, and I remember it looking really dreamy.
Yeah, it was just so dreamy.
I was
and
ooh, game changer.
That's what I wanted Home to feel like. Like, the song is really dreamy, but it's also like, when I think of home, like, yes, I think of family and like an actual building, but I also think of like community. And like, I feel like that's so important in Chicago. Like, we build our communities, and that's our home, right? We find like political homes, we find artistic homes, we find comfort. And like, that was the feeling I wanted in that. And then my third, I would say, is this maternity shoot that I just did with.
Wow, that's special.
With
I said that's special. I don't understand.
I know. What is that? I'm gonna redo that.
That's special occasion.
Yeah. So this.
Huh? No, I'm just saying a maternity shoot is special, right?
Have you seen the photos? Of. It's like a gold crown. Wow. Really paying attention to my career. It's
When did you post them? When did you post these?
Researching me.
When did you post these?
Like weeks ago.
A gold crown? Let me see.
Oh man. Oh my God.
Are you, Josh? Are you showing the gold crown?
That's-
Why am I being put on the spot about this? I'm so confused.
This is
I'm legit confused right now. Why this became
that's a great photo.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Okay, forgive my ignorance because I remember this shoot, and this is a very dope shoot because I remember seeing this image. Huh?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at your maternity shoot.
Which photo?
The gold crown. First of all, where did you get this crown at?
She had it made for her. Her name's Taryn.
That's still made?
Yeah. So Taryn, I photographed Taryn a year ago, and it was my last photo shoot before quarantine. And she was all of her ideas.
No, for real. That's
Yeah, I
Man
mean,
on
it
that.
would be great if someone made a
Zoomed in?
painting of
Okay.
it. It'd be so cool if someone made a painting of this. So Taryn last year was like wanted to do a photo shoot for her birthday, and it was just incredible. We had like this iridescent like disco fabric behind her, and so she looked like Aaliyah, Beyonce. Like she was just looking like a pop star, and I had so much fun with her. Like her glam team is phenomenal, and
She has a
was
glam
just
team?
yeah, like it's
Who
her,
is this
her
lady?
best friends.
Oh, her best friends. Okay.
She's a scholar. She's phenomenal. And she has so much creativity. And so I did this photo shoot without knowing her. We did whole lighting sets and everything. And I was like, this was so much fun. And then the pandemic happened. And I was like, well, at least I went out with a bang. All right. And then I started to like book again. And she's like, hey, so I'm pregnant and I would like a maternity
From
shoot.
the photo shoot?
Yeah, the same girl. So she's like, I'm
No,
pregnant.
she
and I
got
would-
pregnant.
Yes. So she got pregnant and was like,
You posted photos and then
no, it didn't work out that way. But
9 months later, she's ready for a maternity shoot.
hits me up for a photo shoot, and she's like, I want to look like all these images she sent me, and like I want to look fantastic, and I knew you could do it. So one of my studio mates, Ash Dye, helped me with the lighting, and there's like one of the scenes that we did. There's just so many different lights. It's like greens and blues and purples and pinks. And she just looks so serene and beautiful. And then we did the whole gold one too. And like, as a team, we made that happen. And it was just so supportive. And I think like every time I'm really in love with my photos, it's because like the team really put in full effort and like really made the ambiance. And like that really matters to me because I know how it feels when it's just like one-on-one and I can do it and I can bring that kind of feeling to a photo shoot. But when I have like all these people like worrying about the things I don't have to worry about, like if your necklace moved, you know, or if your hat's slightly crooked or like someone could catch it. I don't have to worry about it. So the image comes out even more perfect. But I love it because she's looks super powerful and beautiful. And it's like, that's how I see her. You know, I was just like, you are.
I think that was,
like, let's do it.
You know, when I create a work that I think is pivotal for my career, you know, they call them masterpieces. Like, and I think that for you, for your photography, is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there are. I think, did I text you that? Not the masterpiece part, but I don't know. I feel like I'm going to text him. Like, I feel like this was like a pivotal shoot in my career. Like, I feel like I was able to really transfer my concepts into reality.
That's what I always say a masterpiece is. When you have the idea, the concept, and then you bring it to life the way you saw it in your head completely. To me, that is when your work is, you know, mastered. So if anybody asks, you know, what they think of masterpiece, I think that's what it is.
I agree with
taking
that
your concepts,
definition.
bringing it, because we all have ideas, and then people are like, I had this great idea, I want to do this, I want to see this.
This is what happened.
And then you get halfway there, you know, and it still comes out dope, but to be able to fully fulfill your creative imagination, like that for any creative is the goal.
How long do you think it took you to get to that point? To get from idea to execution?
Like in my career wise, or do you feel like this specific shoot?
Well, from what you were saying, just being able to execute the ideas that you have. Like, how long do you think it took you to get to that point?
I mean, I've been taking myself seriously for like 5 years now. So I would say like career length wise, it's taking me like 5 years to find the confidence and also like learn that I can't do it all by myself all the time, right? Like I could have done those shoots by myself, but I didn't have to do them by myself. And I can also like, supporting a team and having like my idea heard by a team makes all the difference. So I think like I had to be able to build my career up to the point where I could have a team and have a clear idea of what I want. So I can speak it into existence and you understand what I want. I can ask you for a very specific thing. I'm not just like, hey, lighting, want to do it? I could be like, so this is what I imagine. And I can actually put it into words for you to create. Does that answer? Okay. And then from like this though, like she texted me a bunch of ideas and I texted her some ideas and we talked a little bit. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go buy some fabric. Like it doesn't feel as like lengthy when I'm doing it in person. Like when I'm just like, all right, here's a photo shoot. Here's my concept. Here's the things I have to buy. Here are the things. Like I draw it up and I can like exchange ideas back and forth. But I don't think I could have done that 5 years ago. Like I could have drawn in and been like, now what? Like I remember like I would sit here and draw ideas and you'd be like, how are you going to do it? I don't know. That's a great question. Like how can I put these ideas into actual reality? Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. So these are the ideas we talked about, you know, you creating masterpieces and taking your concepts into reality. So now what would be your dream shoot? Like, would it be a person, a group of people? Like, what would it look like? What would the set look like? And
give
who
you all
would...
my ideas.
Okay, is that what we're doing? We can't leak the sauce. Let's see.
I could speak the
Okay,
like,
don't give us all the sauce, but
like a
give
career
us
level shoots and stuff.
Yeah, not all the sauce, but maybe a
Like
a dream
I want
shoot.
Vogue magazine covers. I want Vogue spreads. I want all the major
All
publications.
right, give it up, people! God damn it!
Thank you. Yeah, I want
It's gonna happen.
I want the timeless spreads like in magazines. Like I want you to be really like, oh wow, Jamila's on the cover of Vogue, and there's like a 5-page spread.
Yeah,
Mercedes
okay.
did that, right?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
I'll do my best
to get there.
to get
Thank you.
on the cover of
Pull
Time
your
magazine
weight. Pull your weight.
or Vogue,
In my dream.
and I'll make sure you're the photographer.
Yep. Thanks.
Timestamp this, somebody. Timestamp. All right, thank you guys. All right.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, like I didn't see women photographers often, and when I did, they were white. And even then, when they were photographing people, they were white and thin and like very much like one image of what beautiful
Always
could
the
be.
white males, just
The white males.
these guys, man. Take all the jobs.
Yeah. But like even when Instagram first started, I hated it because I was like, well, this isn't what people look like. Like all the photographers I followed, like these were all like supermodels. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like I don't care to be sold this image of beauty and what healthy is or what sexuality should look like, relationships should look like. It was against like everything I believe. So for myself, even though like I was painting, I was like, well, whatever I put on my Instagram is gonna reflect what my beliefs are. So I think it would just be so like, I don't know if it'd be like radical now, but for me, like back then, it would be like radical to see what I do now in a magazine. And maybe like seeing that as I progress, I hope it has that same feeling for like younger people too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I don't over Photoshop skin. Like unless someone's like, I broke out today, please help. All right. But like, I don't want to alter reality in a way that makes people feel bad about themselves. I always want to honor what reality is in like the most authentic, beautiful way that I can.
That's so dope. Like honor, like the authentic person and give them like, this is who you are and this is why, you know, this is the beauty in it. That's so dope. Yeah,
I'm trying to get more so of like the essence of the person. Like when I photograph someone new, I'm getting to know them first a little bit and then getting to know their personality. And I'm like, all right, cool, I got this. Like I know what to do now, you know?
Okay. So that's the goal is to be on the cover of like a Vogue. But how about an artist, a musician, or somebody that you feel, give me a day with this person, give me the budget, and just because you said when you're listening to like, you know, different people's music, like Jamila or Kiana's, like you listen to it so much that stuff came into your head. Is there any artist right now when you listen to them, you're like, I'm getting visuals of what
This is
a
such an
shoot can look
interesting
like.
question. Like I would like on the top of my head.
Has that ever happened to you though? Like, have you?
Yeah, like I always have
okay.
ideas for shoots, but I'm just like, who should I say out loud?
We can go with a very grandiose idea. You know.
Solange.
Yeah, amazing.
Solange would be
You're
pretty
kidding me?
sick.
Yeah, Solange would be amazing.
What would you do?
Can you
Like-
get Solange?
Like, can
I'll
you
see what I
book
can
her?
do.
Okay.
Like Solange and
a couple
Beyonce, like
calls.
how, like that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I would love to even do like something like someone like Princess Nokia. Like that would be wild. Like
Ooh, that
just-
makes a lot of sense.
yes, like I would love to photograph Princess Nokia.
Nah, she's from New York. I think
New York?
Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Brooklyn or Manhattan?
Puerto Rican.
I don't know. Yeah.
I would love to photograph her. I would love to photograph like I met Helado Negro once and I didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was at Rio Fest and he was just standing there and I was like, hey, can I take your photo? Because I
You
like
didn't know he was. You
no, I
wanted
just
to
thought he
take
looked
a
cool.
photo.
Like I was
Yeah.
walking up to everyone just like, hey, I'm a photographer. Can I photograph you? And he was like, all right, if you tell me about your camera afterwards. And I was like, cool. I was photographing on a Fujifilm X-T1, so it looks like a film camera. So I photographed him and then I like told him about my camera. And then I was like, what's your Instagram? Because I'd like to tag you in this photo later.
Yeah.
And he told me and I was like, oh, you're up next on stage.
Oh, okay.
So I would love to redo that. Like, that would be
Right,
great. He like used that picture in like newsletters and stuff. And I was,
That's dope.
I got one shot, you know? So I was like, it would be
One
so
hitter
cool.
quitter.
Yeah. Lido Pimento too. She's fantastic. She's Colombiana, I believe. I had to fact check that.
Fact
but
check, fact check.
I just want to like photograph like musicians that are like funky and weird and like
Yeah.
don't really fit the quo of like a pop star. Like
Yeah.
that's not the direction I really want to go in. I would like to make them a little weird and artsy, but like I would love to do like photograph people that don't give a shit about those kind of things.
Yeah.
Cause that's where the fun it happens. Like that's where
Right.
I can make a set that doesn't
Yeah,
make
you want to
any sense.
experiment a little
Yeah,
bit.
but I also don't want it to be like, you know, like when you would look at Entertainment Weekly covers. I don't know if you did. We would get them in the mail all the time. But like, it's like these like actors that you see on sitcoms, and they like try to make them into like funny sets and stuff, and it looked quirky, and you could tell it was really forced. I was always like, this is secondhand embarrassment, you know?
I wouldn't have
Like,
thought that deep. See, because you have that eye.
right? Like
your
I would
mind
watch
goes
America's
there.
Next Top Model and be like, that couldn't have been the best photo. Like I know
Whoa.
in my heart that couldn't have been the best photo. And I would watch America's Next Top Model just for the photo shoots and
I
be like,
love when-
I could do better
I
than
love
that.
when creatives are critical. Like you can see it and you critique it because you want better for that art form. You know, like I look at a lot of art or different things and I'm like, come on. You know.
Right? Like, oh.
Because you want the bar to constantly be raised for yourself, but
Yeah.
also for
I see it in
your
major magazines all the time, and I'm like, I could have done that, and I could have hired someone to do that lighting, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't have turned out like this. It's amazing how much people don't know how to photograph people of color in 2021. So,
people that aren't like the atypical model.
right, yeah, like how to cater to different body types
Mm-hmm.
and everything. Those are all things I'm like, I can do that. Why not me? At this point,
Right.
I'm like, why not? Why can't I work in a major way like that? I
Yeah,
can get
well,
there.
why not?
Yeah. With the right budget, a team.
I think this is the year. I feel like you definitely your art has proven and spoken for itself, you know?
Thank you. I appreciate it. You've seen me grow a lot.
Have I?
Yeah.
I just thought you were always dope.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On Instagram, you know how like the memory thing?
Yeah.
It was like you and Sunrock have been following each other for 5 years. I was like,
Whoa.
that's it. Like to me, I feel like I've known you longer too, though. I'm just like, oh shit, it's been 5 years. But yeah, it's been a while. Like that's when I started.
You remember the first time we worked together? Yeah, me
Like-
neither. Yeah.
I was like,
It was very special for me. And I hope you
like the
remember
first
as
time I
much as I do.
photographed you? I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
That's good, I guess.
Well, I didn't really make any money to hire you
Right.
until
We were
maybe
just, I was
last year.
probably photographing you painting.
Yeah.
But probably not in your studio. You're probably like painting a mural or something.
Yeah.
I guess I'll
Anyways,
look into my archive.
cut this part out.
Yeah. Our
Very
memory loss.
anticlimactic.
We're getting old.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much for stopping by the studio and, just having conversation. I feel like we really haven't been able to sit down and just talk like we used to.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your time and visiting. So
Thanks. I appreciate you and the team.
yeah, any last words you want to say? Any subliminal disses or sneak disses you want to get out there?
I would say, like, I think that right now, with how turbulent it might feel inside and outside of our bodies, like, I really hope that people turn to art more and, like, aren't scared to pick up a canvas or to like scribble or draw or write. Like, I think that we all deeply need it. I think it should be encouraging to hear from other artists. Like, you don't start 5 years in, or you don't start like 10 years into your career. Like, you just got to start and just have fun with it. Even if you never want to be an artist, like, that's my word of advice.
That's good advice. That's how we are now in season 2. We just started recording.
Yep.
And we're here.
Hey.
So thank you. And scene.
We gotta get her outro.
Right, do the intros? Outros?
Intros.
Intro.
Your intro.
What do I have to do?
You gotta say, what's up, fools? You know
what's
who
up,
it is.
fools? You know
Big
what it
Bad
is.
Mercedes.
I used to be really good at this because I used to make fun of you with it, but now I'm like,
I know. Remember I used to just say it randomly?
yes, that was like,
And then that was like a thing.
damn, no. I saw what you was at the Megatron.
You know who it is.
I was like, there's no way to put it on the Megatron. I was like freaking out.
They put that on the jumbo screen at Soldier Field.
Dude, I think I was getting drinks around that time because like I had no idea that was even on there.
Yeah, you missed it. Yeah.
What up, fools? You know what it is? Big Bad Scent Rock back at
No,
it
you
again.
guys said for you though.
Big Bad Mercedes?
Yeah.
Big Bad Mercedes. Spanish sounds better. Wow, how do you start again? What's up, fools?
What's up, fools? You know what it is.
All right.
Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Mercedes.
No pressure.
Like that?
Not like that, but in your way, in your way.
You got it.
All right.
Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is.
Hey, what's up, fools? All right. Hey, what's up, fools? You know what it is? Big Bad Mercedes. You know who it is?
Yo, what's up, fools? You know who it is.
What's up, fools? You know who it is? Big Bad Mercedes. Back at it again.
That's very good. That's very good.
Oh my God, is there something?
Try it again?
Back at it again.
I felt like
Is that where you end it?
Back at it again. What's up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Summer. Back at it again.
Give us after like we're out here with
All right. I feel like you guys should have asked me this in the beginning. Now I'm like flustered. Okay.
You're
In the
doing
beginning,
great.
it's a lot harder though.
But I'm like the E and J.
Well, you could just say.
What?
You
All right,
can
no,
say
I got it.
whatever
I
you
got
want.
it. If everyone else got it, I got it.
You can say whatever you want. Even the alderman said it, so.
I'm gonna get it, guys. All right. What up, fools? You know who it is. Big Bad Mercedes back at it again in Scent Rock Studio, season 2.
Season 2.
That was good. Put an air horn.
Insert air horn here, Zach. Season 2, spice it up.